Okay, there you go.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Shelton and Ms. Anspar. We're officially starting. And can you guys see the agenda that's been shared?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Um, so if you can do a very, very brief introduction of yourself and what you teach, that would be lovely. And then I will continue on with the rest of the agenda.
I'm Natalie Anspa. I'm the ELA department chair at New Tech Middle School.
And I am Jordan Shelton. I'm the Social Studies Department Chair at New Tech Middle School.
Thank you. And I'm Janet Akingbule, Science Department Chair at Minot New Tech Middle School. Awesome. So super quickly, we're going to go over the agenda. In just a minute, we're going to be talking about why walkthroughs are important. What are the things that one should look for in a walkthrough? And then number 4 on the agenda, we have 3 sample walkthrough forms that we're going to kind of look at very quickly, see what they have, what they should have, and then we'll look at our school's walkthrough form. And then coming to number 6, which is our main point, is to make a new form that would be the best, the ideal form for our campus. Are there any questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay, awesome. So the next document that we're looking at, it's simply titled Walkthroughs, and basically the first part of it is what are the benefits of walkthroughs, or why would we want to do walkthroughs? And I listed 5 things. Number 1 is to know students. If you are in a classroom or in classrooms throughout the campus, as you do the walkthroughs, you do get to know the characteristics of the students, as well as each teacher, their style, how they're teaching, their strengths, their weaknesses. You get to know what's going on the campus. So that is the first reason or benefit of a walkthrough. Number 2 is building capacity for individual teachers. As you guys know, whenever we have the walkthroughs on our own campus, the feedback is very, very important, because that's what helps us to, number 1, celebrate what we're doing well. Number 2, see what we need to do, as well as come up with other strategies, basically to get better and to develop and to teach better. So that's the second reason. Number 3 is to develop and align our professional development as a campus, and also working in that professional development through our PLCs. Our PLCs we meet pretty often, and that's basically our main location where we're able to support each other, develop and grow in our teaching and teaching strategies. So that's number 3. Number 4 is looking at our school as a whole, school improvement, how we can improve overall as a campus to ensure that every teacher is a strong teacher and that all the students on our campus are working and learning well. And then finally, the 5th reason I put is to provide focus for celebration. What are the things that we are doing well as a campus so that we can celebrate that and know that we're doing good in these areas, but also know the areas for growth and improvement. So those are the benefits and the whys of walkthroughs. Um, Moving on to the next section, what to look for in a walkthrough. Number 1 is classroom organization. How is the room arranged? Is it conducive to instruction? Are there instructional tools, things like word walls, anchor charts, student work displayed? Is it being used well? Those instructional tools, whatever they are. And then how is the class organized for the lesson? Is it group work? Is it collaboration? Is it individual work? Is it a project? So the first thing that we want to look for in a walkthrough is how is the classroom organized? And of course, that would be documented in our walkthrough form. Number 2, which is really important, is engagement. Whenever one is doing a walkthrough, we have to be able to gauge, are the students engaged in the lesson? We would want to know how many of them are disengaged. And then also there are some students, they might not necessarily be disruptive. They might actually be sitting quietly, but are they actively participating in what is going on? Or are they quiet and doing something else? Are they quiet and bored? So those are things we want to look for with regard to engagement. In terms of engagement, as soon as students walk into the classroom, do they have something to do? Are they engaged right away? Another big one is transitions between activities. Is there a lot of lag time, or are students and the teacher able to transition successfully between activities? Also, our instruction and whatever instructional activities we're using, they should be engaging. Teachers should be facilitating the lessons, facilitating the discussion. And then, in terms of engagement, are we asking deep questions so that students can go beyond just recalling the facts, but to actually understanding the topic, the themes that we are talking about? Number three is learning objectives. Are they posted? But much more than them being posted, do students understand the objectives of the lesson? Or can we say, does every student understand what the objective of the lesson is? Why are we learning this today? What is the purpose of this class, this lesson today? And then reason for walkthroughs, alignment. Would teachers teaching the same sections be teaching similar topics? For example, let's say in seventh grade science, would both teachers be teaching similar topics, or would they be teaching something completely different, so that if a kid was to move from one section to the other, they would be completely lost? They would be in a completely different unit or completely different topic. So do we have alignment in each of our subject areas? Number five is rigor of instruction and high expectations for student achievement. Are students doing high quality work, or are they simply doing busy work quietly? Are they able to process new information deeply? The concepts they're learning, are they able to apply it and also apply it in different types of contexts? Are they able to apply it across the curriculum? For example, a theme or a topic that was covered in social studies, can they apply that in science and in English? Are students able to share what they're learning with somebody else? Are they able to teach it to other people after they have learned it? Also, in terms of rigor of instruction, is the teacher explaining concepts well? Is it logical? Does it make sense? Is it systematic? Are there concrete examples? Is it clear? And is it easy to understand? And then finally, a very important one, are students able to spend some time in every lesson discussing, writing, reflecting about what it is that they have learned? Are they able to think about that information and say something about it successfully? So those are the 6 things that we would want to look for in a walkthrough. Um, any questions from either of you at this time?
None for me.
No.
Awesome. Thank you. So the next part is actually where we get to use that information. If you can have that document open um, to kind of like refer back to it, then we're going to move forward to the first sample walkthrough. It's titled Sample Walkthrough Form number 1. If we can take probably about a minute or two to look through it and kind of go back to that checklist of 6 things. Is this a good form? What does it have? What doesn't it have? What should it have? I think probably would be the best question. And then we'll talk about it in a few minutes and see what we can say about it. Basically, just discuss it. So if we want to do that for about 2 minutes, that would be excellent. Does that sound good? Are we good or do we need a little bit more time?
I'm good.
Okay,
I'm good as well.
awesome. Let's go ahead and discuss that first form. What do you guys think is good about it? And also, what do you guys think is missing from it? What should be in it that you guys think is probably not in it for to be able to give good feedback in a walkthrough?
I like
Or
how
what does,
oh,
go ahead,
sorry.
please.
I was just say I like how succinct that it is. I feel like sometimes feedback forms become very clunky, and this one is pretty straight to the point. It's basically, I saw this. I do think it's missing an area for celebrating the teacher. I feel like sometimes walkthroughs come across as a punitive measure of where the teacher is and what they didn't do, and lacks the opportunity to recognize what they were doing well.
Thank,
I,
thank you so much. That is awesome.
I was just gonna say the same thing. And then I also noticed that it said like 3-minute walkthrough, which made more sense for why it was a little bit more brief. Because I think legitimately you can't see a whole lot more. I would agree with Mr. Shaw. It'd be nice to have a celebration built into that too. But I think that's really what you can assess in 3 minutes well. So I like that about the form.
Awesome. Thank you. I actually agree with both of you guys. It's a really short form. It's for a very, very quick walkthrough. But it doesn't have that celebratory component to it. And I was thinking that does it have enough evidence of student work built into it in terms of um, our students using the material in some way or another. So maybe that one, but overall, it's a 3-minute walkthrough. You might not even get to that part in a 3-minute walkthrough, but it does certainly show what kind of work students are doing and what kind of strategies the teacher is using. Is the classroom organized? Like it talks about the word wall, student work on the walls, that sort of thing. Um, I'm trying to see learning objectives. I think it did mention them. So let's talk about the standards and essential question, and that would be where the learning objectives would come into. So overall, pretty good. Are we okay to go to the next one?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, awesome. The next one should have the title feedback form number 2 or something very, very similar to that. Yeah, sample walkthrough form number 2. If we can take another 2 minutes to look through this one, um, find out what does it have that's good, what's it missing, is there any way to make it better? How does it compare to the first one? That would be lovely. We can do that for 2 minutes. Um, All right, are we ready?
Yep.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So if either of you wants to go first and start us off, that would be lovely.
I again like that this one is pretty easy to like digest what like all the things that are being assessed on it. It does make sure to take into account many of the aspects of what it is to be teaching. It to me though, it's missing capturing like where the teacher is in the unit, the standard that's being taught. And it also, I don't like in the section number 9 on it where it talks about low/no impact motivators. Like to me, that's just more like a more critical way of looking at what the teacher's trying to do, and more like it'd be better to show like a whole list of high impact motivators and low impact and kind of show like plot where that teacher is on that scale rather than just being like you're doing this and it's low impact. I think that would be a little defeating to see that.
I was thinking the same thing, like it seemed kind of extra negative. And then I was just thinking about how teachers would feel to receive feedback like that. And I agree. It's quick, but it's missing positive and just like you could get some idea of what's going on, but with kind of limited comments. I think you wouldn't get a complete picture of the classroom.
Yeah, it would be enhanced if there was more like a comment section with each area being evaluated. That way, if it felt negative, the evaluator would have an opportunity to highlight exactly why they've checked what they've checked.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Um, you guys both bring up very important points. The low impact motivation one, it would actually be better to see more positive things highlighted there that one could choose from. Also, standards. There's not an area for that, and area for celebration as well as comments for the different aspects of it. So I think having some comments would be very good to create a better picture as opposed to only the checklist. So, thank you both for that. And then we're gonna move into the third one. The third one is really short. If we can take 1 minute for that and then discuss it, that would be lovely, please. Are we ready for number 3?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. If one of you guys can start again, that would be wonderful.
I think it's weird in that it's so short and it just feels to me this one comes across as like is the teacher just doing the check boxes basically. Like it doesn't really to me capture real student engagement and it doesn't capture what the teacher is really teaching the students. It's more of just checking the box. I think this one way too simplifies what should be looked for in an observation.
Yeah, I didn't
Awesome.
feel like it's I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I didn't feel like it was like class, like a teach for the teacher. I felt like it was more just like simple data for admin, just to see if certain things are happening in the classroom. But I don't think if a teacher got this information back, I don't think it would carry much value. So it
Yeah,
seems,
it comes across to me as like, okay, you came and saw my class, but you didn't see my class.
Hmm. There's no evidence that the class was actually seen. Yeah. Um, with regard to all of the things that one would look for in a walkthrough. Thank you. There is a space for notes, but I think we're saying that the previous ones that we saw might be a little bit better. So thank you both for that. We have probably about 5 minutes left on this particular Zoom. I don't have the extended Zoom. If it cuts out, I will send out a link very, very quickly, and then we'll continue from there. But we're gonna go to our school's form right now. It's titled Minor New Tech Middle School Walkthrough Form. If we want to look through it and do the same thing compared to the previous ones. What does it have? What's it missing? Um, if we were going to take all of this information and make a new form, what should we put in it? This one's a little bit longer, so I would say maybe 3 to 4 minutes to look through it. I think we're used to it, but at least let's aim for 3 minutes, please, to look through this form.